Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons. I'm LD Demola. And to my left,
Maya Siobhan.
Emma LaRouge.
And Yasuji.
House of Commons.
Hey,
I swear I can't wait.
What's topical?
You be over there chewing them cups, boy. Today's topic. Good guys like bad girls.
Oh yeah.
Good girls love bad guys.
Is it true?
Is it true? Is this fact? If it is fact, why? If it's a lie, why? What do you think? I will start with Yasuji.
Oh snap! Put me on
Yes,
the
sir.
side. Snap.
Chad.
Huh?
Go ahead.
You said it's Chad?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Nah. Well, I believe the reason. Okay, I'll start with like why, because we're gonna talk about it more anyway. So I think women like bad guys for multiple reasons. You know. I think that it's you know, I think most women want a mix of both, good and bad, a little bit of both. But I think bad is not boring and interesting, and you know, I hate to say it this way, but sometimes I get this is from my perspective. I'm not a woman, so I don't really know, but I think it's sometimes you want a little, you know, you. You know, if you want to see a little you. I don't know what the word is. I don't know if it's a little. I don't know a little. I don't want to say what it. It's not that, but it's something like a little nigga in you. But I don't know, a little. No, but on a serious note, I really do think that that aspect of it, that you want something that's kind of exciting. You want somebody that's a man. You know, not that being nice is not being a man, but it's kind of like, you know, manly sort of qualities in a man. So that's what I think.
What do you think?
I'm still trying to digest process it. So
I'll take it.
yeah.
Well, I would say opposites attract. So if opposites attract, then the good girl is going to quite naturally attract to the bad guy, because what she lacks, he'll have, and what he has, you know, he's attracted to the fact that she's not like him as far as being bad, and vice versa. So if opposites attract, and I feel like with two people you need friction, because friction creates something. When everything's the same thing and it's dull, it's boring. You know, there's no fire, you need friction to create fire. You know, there has to be some sort of, you know, differences so that things can happen. So I think opposites attract. So, you know, and then it depends on what you mean by good girl. Because I feel like as a woman, there's certain parts of me that's good.
Right.
And then there's certain parts of me that's not so good. Or when I was a young lady, maybe I was becoming who I am, so I was bad in certain areas. And then as I grew up, those bad areas went away. So the same for a guy. So I think if you have a guy that's, you know, maybe he's not so educated and he's more of a street thinking person, he much rather his wife, girlfriend, or whomever be more calm and, you know, yeah, exactly, so that he can learn, as I said, opposites attract. So I think in that aspect, that's why that happens.
You go?
Oh, you go ahead.
I think
Your fans want to know.
I'm actually gonna jump out the window and say, majority of the time, the guy should be better than the girl.
Well, what?
I'm serious.
Okay.
When I say bad, when we talk about good girls like bad guys and good guys like bad girls, I don't know if it's safe for a good guy to like a bad girl.
I don't even safe to even be a good guy. I don't think it's safe to even be a
Okay,
good
so
guy.
you gave an example, right? And I'm going to let you talk. You gave an example about Russell Wilson and Future and Sierra.
Yes,
right?
yes.
I know the Cinderella story, and Walt Disney wants Prince Charming to come down this horse and, you know, be the greatest guy of all time. He goes to church. He does all these things. Those qualities are necessary in a guy, but if your personality is just that, that's when you start hearing that he's too nice. And there's a reason why girls say he's too nice, because I've come to learn that girls like scratching.
You need that.
Like they want to climb. They want challenges.
I know they were cats.
know what I'm saying? And maybe we're dogs. But, you know, when I'm talking about bad, right, the one thing I'm going to say is to clarify, bad is not a guy who endangers your life.
Yeah, no,
to me, that's just corny.
That's not
Yeah, true.
It's cheese balls. Like,
Yeah.
it's lame. But a guy who, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you're the lady, you're with this guy, you know that he's about he's a family guy, you know, takes care of home, but, you know, he's not a pushover. You know, I think these days they market a lot that a good guy or a guy to be with is kind of a pushover, and it's like, no.
That's sad. I think with the Russell Wilson, are you ready to speak, huh?
Well, this is what I would say. So I think sometimes what the mistake becomes is just like you were saying. Some women confuse endangerment with
The
bad swag.
True.
There is a difference between bad swag and you choking me till I'm about to pass out and die. So I think what some women need to realize is that that guy that carries the gun, that's always in the street, quick to shoot someone, is the drug dealer, I really wouldn't attract such. I wouldn't want to be with such. To me, that's not bad. To me, that's a man actually I consider weak, because if you think your strength is in carrying a gun around you and demanding what you want through that weapon, that makes you less of a man to me. So, yeah, it's great to be with a guy that has that bad aspect. That bad aspect as in, you know, I can walk over him, but at the same time, I can communicate what I want, and he can still do what I want with respect. And I think sometimes there are some guys, honestly, that some women can just walk over. It's like, I need you to do this, this, and this, and if you don't do it, this is what's gonna happen. It's like, okay, you know, it's like, maybe sometimes that's why some black guys go with white chicks, because that's a whole different conversation.
I'm not looking down for the rest of the show. I'm gonna just keep looking up.
No,
She just said can of worms.
But what I was
Golly.
gonna say is that I find great respect in a man that I cannot walk over, but at the same time we are working towards a goal together. We are, you know, planning things accordingly together. You know, you talk to me with respect and I talk to you with respect. And you can still be bad in the aspect of, hey, you know, you can still have that swag whereby in the way you tell me things to do, like for example, okay, let me just be blunt and clear. Bad can play great in, you know, in our intimacy life. There's a whole different aspect of bad in that area. Boring for me is like something I cannot tolerate. You know, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. At some point, I'm someone who likes excitement, so that excitement gets me going. And also, your personality also creates that bad aspect in you. You know, if you're a go-getter, you're driven, you can just step out there and draw people towards you. That makes a difference. So bad can be explained in different angles and different categories. So it all depends on what your definition of bad is, or what your definition of bad is, or what your definition of good is, because everyone's liking of bad is different, and everyone's liking of what is good is different. But at some point, do good guys?
I guess
Does it come down to need? Because I feel like because especially when it comes to like the dynamic between men and women, if you're talking about dating and she's looking for a certain type of thing, she may not even realize that's what she's looking for, but just naturally she's looking for this type of guy that's going to provide this type of thing. It may be monetary, it may be physical, it may be intellectually. Some women, they have intellectual, mental orgasm just from conversation. So there's something that you provide for her that she doesn't have, and vice versa. So, you know, men that are more cool and passive and probably end up being with fiery, strong women, because that's probably what they need. That's probably what would work better for them. Like, it goes back with the opposites attract. It works better for them because this is the way the dynamic works. And if you're smart, you want to be with somebody who's going to help you grow and be a better person. So I think naturally that's what we're doing without even realizing that we're dating our opposites, or we're talking to opposites, and it's like, okay, this actually kind of works. Even though it's kind of weird, because like you said, that's why it's important to say that bad, it works in different categories. There's different kinds of bad, for every person, for men and women. It's not just one thing, so because I wouldn't really consider myself bad but I'm definitely not good at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I think that there are different categories of bad, you know, because
So what is your bad?
my bad is I'm like, remember when Humpty Dump said I'm the kind of guy that get busy in the Burger King bathroom? Mm-hmm. That's me. But I'm more like a Sears, TJ Maxx type.
Go ahead and say what you mean.
I wanted to speak up on the, oh God, on the guy, like the guy who is out here that's passive, and he's been passive his whole life. His mom is like this strong woman. His sister is strong. You know, all of the women in his life have been like these overbearing women. You know, so he's used to playing that passive role.
Right.
So when he sees this fiery female, let's just say, I'm gonna give a hypothetical. She's at a bus stop. You know what I mean? And he sees her, and I'm not being derogatory as far as bus stop goes, but and she sees him and he sees her, but then she speaks to him. But his eyes are like, whoa, and then she's like, hey, what's your name? You know, she's very forward, and he's so attracted. He was attracted to her when he saw her. And then when she said something, it was like, wow, you know? There's something about her. She helps bring out something in him, and amongst his friends or her friends, it's like, why do you have this so, you know, pipsqueak looking dude? And it's like, in her mind, well, he's totally different from everybody else.
To me?
Let me finish. And for him, it's like, well, I'm quiet, but I'm not silent. Because there's a way you can be quiet and passive and not silent. I'm a very outspoken person, and I've dated people that, in the room, it's my room, but they're quiet, but don't think that they're silent. Don't think that I'm controlling something because of my personality being what it is. It's just that person, that's not his room. You understand? And he understands, okay, this is her room, or I'm going to be a support to her. But I think in certain rooms, in certain aspects, people look at him as being weak or good. You understand what I'm saying? So I think for that guy, you just can't be too corny. You know what I mean? For a woman, right? And, as my mom says, women want to feel protected.
Right.
Regardless. If he has an Ivy League degree or if he got a street degree. You know what I'm saying? A woman wants to feel protected. If she's quiet, if she's loud, if she's good or bad. So
one more thing I was gonna say is I'm a extrovert, 100%. ENFP, if you know what that is, I'm extrovert-ish. So it's almost impossible for me to be with somebody that's just like me. For me, if I'm with somebody like me, we're going to be competing for attention.
It's bad. It's too much.
It's too much.
That's a no-win.
Exactly. Because I've been around people like me, and I want to punch them. You know. You know. But on a serious note, I'm serious. No, on a serious note, like when you're with somebody that is just like you, it's actually, to me, a lot of times seems to be more friction.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, dang, this person just like me, like, calm your punk ass down. And no, you calm your punk ass down. That kind of thing. Or you're quiet, I'm quiet, so we're just gonna be quiet here together. What kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so this
it's similar. It's not the exact same thing, but it's a similar thing as far as the personality being good and bad.
This is why I said I think it's a little bit unsafe for a good guy. Good, and when I say good, I mean submissive. You know, listens to everything.
Right.
You know, he's the perfect picture of what they market as the greatest guy ever.
That's so sad.
No, am I lying about what they're marketing these days? Am I lying about their marketing?
Depends on the market.
The United States of America.
Finish it.
I don't want to say the word. I don't want to say the word.
Finish our piggyback.
Emasculate, but any man who shows some kind of ego, pride, and a little bit of control is looked at as a misogynist, and any woman who submits, right, to that kind of guy is looked at as.
Can I say?
Am I lying?
Can I say something?
No. Let me finish. The reason why I bring this up is because when I said bad guy, right? Let me express my bad, my bad, right?
Yes.
To me, first and foremost, no, for real. First and foremost, family comes first, right?
Right.
I come first as far as taking care of myself. So when you're in the plane and you know there's turbulence and the mask drops, you got to put a mask on yourself first, and then somebody else. So to me, right, community, family is first. But I stand by my perspective. I'm very, very, particular about my perspective on things, right? And I don't know why it is, but that's what I think my bad is. So it's not, I'm not gonna endanger your life, but the things that I do take seriously, I'm gonna be like, yo, look, this is the direction we're going. In today's world, you saying this is the direction you're going is being pushy or like, But I think
how you do
but
it.
hold up. Of course it does depend on how you do it. But the fact that a man does it at all these days is looked at as the wrong thing. Let me finish, right? The reason why I say it's unsafe for a guy not to... No, for real. The reason why I think it's important for guys to know you are the protector. So it is important for you to sit back, look, and say, hey, oh, my, look, this is where we should probably go. I'm going to listen to you, but this... What do you want to say?
Go ahead.
We're definitely working together, but I am the protector. So anything that goes wrong, it is my responsibility. So I need to be able to, calm down, put things in perspective. I'm gonna let you, I encourage you to be the best you can be. But my job is to make sure as we build this castle, it doesn't fall. That's and I think that's the role that they're taking away from the kind of bad I'm talking about.
I'm sorry to jump in, but which is sad and unfortunate because that's a role you have regardless anyways. And no matter how you slice it and dice it, you are being what do you call it? Trial and convicted for whatever. So when I say that, I mean whether you're doing it or not, you're still being blamed for not doing it. Either you're doing it or you're not doing it. But if you're not doing it, we're gonna talk about you regardless. You're gonna it's
gonna talk about
it's not the world is gonna talk about you. So if I'm a man and not handling my business right, as a man of providing, they're gonna say, okay, you're a man, you have to provide. But society, this is what I was getting. What I really wanted to talk about was, I believe the PC police, PC SWAT team.
Cheers.
Is basically is really and it's I'm gonna stay on topic, but it's one of America's biggest problems, probably one of the biggest problems is the fact that we can't have a real discussion about what it really is. And we can't have a real dialogue about what's really going on. And I think that in all in the name of not trying to hurt anybody's feelings and everybody trying to be okay, well, I don't want to offend these people, I want to offend these people.
Right.
Now we've taken it too far. As a matter of fact, I was hosting a show and I made a comment about the models that was not inappropriate. And somebody in the crowd was like, that's misogynistic. And I'm like, first of all, I went to college and I'm pretty sure anybody can pull up a dictionary. That misogynistic is not that definition that I just did. So let me just say.
You just say that to them?
I wanted to say it, but I have the microphone behind this thing. But no, seriously.
There's a reason why I opened that case though. We'll go back to the main topic.
But the reason why I'm saying is because now it's almost like it's like a fad now. Like everything is like this thing. Well, that's sexist. That's what. No, that's not what it is.
No, I'm a man.
It's sensitive. I mean, people.
I'm a man.
Like it depends on the room. Like if it's a sensitive thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have some people that look at if you walk into a room and he walks in first.
Right.
It's like, oh, he's controlling you.
Right.
Depending on where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it has everything to do with you as a person. Because if you're secure in yourself and in your relationship and in the person that you're with, you don't have to explain anything. There doesn't have to be any kind of, oh, no, he runs everything because you can tell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
the rest of the relationship should understand
the world seems to be, on the worldview scale, sensitive. And we're getting further and further away from balance and what we do naturally, like we talked about before, a couple episodes before about, what women naturally do versus what men naturally. Naturally, I'm talking as natural as the sandbox. And I say sandbox because when you put children in a sandbox, the little boy is going to naturally bring her a thing so she can scoop sand. And then the girl that likes him is gonna come over and and then the other boy is gonna pull her hair because he wants it as a sandbox. They don't know, feminist, they don't know misogynistic, they just know boy, girl, and your dress is cute because of my eyes and I'm 4 years old. So society is trying to find a balance in male, female. And I think when you get sensitive and emotional and all this other crap, especially social media, steers you to think what you don't know how you don't know how to think. If that makes sense.
Let me ask you.
I do. Okay, go ahead and ask, and I do want to.
Emma has not said.
No, go ahead and ask the
No,
question. No, what I was gonna say is, like you were saying, I think that us as human beings, of course, never want to realize what the truth of the matter is. We're so worried about what other people think
Oh!
that
Mrs. Stop.
people.
Shit. Say it again.
Please. People didn't hear you.
Swag words.
I hope I didn't lose my thought. No, but I said we're so worried about what other people think that even when we are in a relationship and we know that I love those characteristics about the person that I'm with. I respect this aspect about him. And yes, it doesn't make me less of a woman if I listen to my man or if I follow him. But at the same time, that man knows that I as a woman also have characteristics about me that he desires and that he needs. It takes two to build up, but it has to be two that are all on the same page. Not that we all have to be the same, not that we have to have similarities extreme, but at the same time there has to be similar things that we have about us, but things that also differentiate us, because we both can't be the same. Like Anya was saying, you know, sometimes when two people are the same, it really creates a friction. That oppositeness has to exist. You know, we both can be strong, but yes, though we can both follow each other. It shouldn't be a problem if he walks into a room and I follow him, and of course people will think that he's controlling, and if we happen to be out and he says something, just the way we communicate and you listen, you say, okay baby, no problem. Sometimes people interpret that as you being extremely submissive, but there's nothing wrong with submissiveness as long as your mate respects you. To me, it becomes a problem when that lack of respect doesn't exist.
I agree.
You know, and that's when some women walk over some guys, and that's when some guys walk over some women. So I think if you respect yourself enough, if you love yourself enough, you will be able to appreciate whatever it is badness that man has. I'm not saying badness to the point whereby he's killing you or mistreating you or abusing you. To me, that's not bad. And if you're a woman tolerating that from any man and telling your friend, oh, he's bad, you know, he's always in the street doing this, he can protect me, that's not protection.
Well, it all depends on the neighborhood, though.
I was going to say that.
It all depends on the society.
It depends on the neighborhood, too, but I wouldn't want a man around.
Ain't no punk.
Yeah.
You know, just because a man doesn't carry a gun and he's not in the street doing this and this doesn't mean that he can't protect you either.
Of course.
But in certain, certain communities,
certain communities you do have the gun. But
Let me ask this question, right? Because I'm willing to go out on the limb again and say this, that as a youngster, right, our generation, what are we? We're not Gen X. We're
millennials technically.
Okay, whatever it is. But
technically,
our generation, we were raised with there was a lot more marketing against manhood, right? The Marlboro Man became too much of a man. You know, you take him out of the picture.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, but what I've started to realize is, it seems like most of the women I talk to, I want to say 99.100% of the women I've talked to, they seem to want a level above them back.
I have to.
Right? I think no matter how bad the woman is, right? It seems, I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm noticing that women want the guy who actually is that. Like,
what is that? What is that? I want to have you hear
whatever is risky, right? And I'm not saying, again, it's not risk like you know this is gonna destroy your life.
Right.
But when I wake up in the morning as a woman and I'm in the presence of this guy, I'm just like, yeah. I like the boss in this right here, right? I'm noticing that they market as if that's not what women want, but that's what the women want.
I want to, because I understand what you're saying. I'm going to speak on it twofold. So we look at TV, right? And
The Bachelor.
Very true, right? So on TV, it's
come on, son.
It's less aggressive and more fluffy for a guy to be passive on our media stations that we watch. Anytime a man, black, white, Chinese, small, short, whatever, shows any type of presence, then it's like, oh, it's too much, right? Now let's be in reality, right? Let's be in reality, and we are at the movie theater. Comedians speak on this a lot. And, oh no, you go to a concert and someone's sitting in your seat, right? And, okay, I think we should do like a split screen. You have you have an Asian couple, you know, you have African American couple, you have couples, right? What's the common denominator? Who's gonna do what, right? So is she gonna say, look at the tickets, you know, you in our seats? Or is he going to say, no baby, you know, and she's just gonna sit there and say, you know, watch him do his thing.
That's a great example, by the way.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. So I think what happens is, so as soon as that moment, we freeze frame.
Yeah.
And then
what happens here?
Now she will sit. Actually, okay, my brain. She's sitting back like, watch. In her mind, she's like, oh, he's not gonna stand for this, right? Now, depending on how bad the guy is, let's say it's you, because you're not so bad in that specific situation, right? You're gonna politely say, excuse me, you guys are in our seats, right? Let's say, you know, the Crip. And she's gonna be like,
he did.
I'm just saying. So, and then you have some people, guy, that'll go get the usher because that's their job. Now, does that mean that guy is weak?
No.
Now, freeze frame and you know, do a survey. 9 times out of 10, 100% of the time, as my brother just said, she's gonna say.
I'm trying my best to define it without using the word control, right? Because control is, you know, it's been used very, it's been used. It's so negative.
Yeah.
But when you're on your shit, right, you are in control.
I think the problem is what we're describing looks like something that America or society is trying to move away from.
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, it's too much power.
So trying to get a little closer.
But guess who's losing though? Guess who's losing? Women.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
But I think, okay, if we lose, then you lose.
Not really, because we have more variety.
Because the ratio of women to guys is really.
But okay, so a woman's losing because of what?
No,
because the guys that they want, right? The guys that they actually want are no longer because.
Yeah.
So do guys lose too?
No, because when you know what's really good, you just sit back and watch the flock come in.
Another thing too is not every woman is like that either. Not every woman thinks like that. Some of these women are like, I don't understand all this nonsensical politics. Let's get down to
Now let me talk about a guy, right? a guy who, I'm gonna use signs, and I want us to. We're probably actually gonna start again within the same topic and just go back in because I don't feel like we've dug in enough.
Yeah.
We've kind of gone different places, but I'm gonna use signs, right? I'm not really good on horoscopes or whatever.
I'm great at it.
I'm not good at it, but I know I'm a Cancer, right? I know I'm a Cancer, and I know I've read certain things about Cancers. I'm like, damn, dog, that's me too much, right? I try my best to act like I'm a Leo sometimes.
You're not Leo
with the pride thing, but I know that I'm very, 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 you know, everything community and very in my shell. I don't go out a lot.
Yeah.
And I found that my girlfriend is a Capricorn, right? God bless Capricorns. You know, they are very, very wife material like.
Very good, yeah.
Very calm. Some may consider it boring, but she's not boring. But my mother's a Sagittarius. My father's a Sagittarius.
They're very
I've noticed, right? Anytime, you know, my antennas go like, oh my God, that's exciting. It's usually Sagittarius. And I'm like, that's a bad girl, run. Because she's exciting, right?
Yeah.
But as a Cancer man, until you got a lot of paper, which money has nothing to do with Sagittarius, until you have a lot of money to live comfortably without having to go to work, know that this person is work.
Oh, yeah.
This Sagittarius lady, this bad girl that you're excited about,
one of my main exes
is work.
It was a Sag.
You know, so I don't know if you guys think about this kind. I think about it a lot, and I'm like, it seems like Sagittarius make you tick, but you know though.
It depends on the who is what.
Right,
like me being a Scorpio, like.
Oh, Chineke, let's go. I'm just kidding. Rusty really. Scorpio. Oh my God. I'm just kidding. What's your sign?
Libras.
Oh, Libra.
But
I don't know. My son Gemini's seem not to click too much.
yeah, because because they flip too much. And me being a Scorpio, so first and foremost, there's
and connect us back to the bad and good. Right?
yeah, there's different. So
how does it work with Virgo? How does it work with Virgo?
So no, like I feel like each sign has like a fiery part, and then there's a more calm part. It's just what, depending on who you're with and who you're around and how that person brings out, and then you have to know yourself. So there's Scorpios out there that are really calm. They actually like to be in the house, and that's part of me. But then there's other part of me that's kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And then it depends on where you are in like your age and what your experiences.
Sure.
All these
Yeah.
things. So I know for me, Aquarius doesn't work for me because.
Are those shots fired?
No, I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, no, it doesn't work because they march to a beat of their own drum.
They're very.
And you cannot, it doesn't work, you know, like, because I'm all about, hey, let us together. And they're like, no, well, I want to do this when I want to do it and how I want to do it. So, you know, for somebody that's really, really super calm, that works for me because I can be both, but I'm more extroverted, but then I have introverted tendencies as well. So I was going to say something about two things that are alike. The very thing that you like about a person, 9 times out of 10 will be the thing that separates you. Because I'm attracted to somebody who's in control, yet I like to be in control. But I have to understand in wanting to be in control that it's a give and take. But the very thing that I like about this person is like, wow, he's handling his business, he's doing his thing, could turn around and backfire in a way because it's like he doesn't, it's at a certain time. It's like, wow.
I think it's lack of communication.
I mean, that too, but yeah, I think it's just like the very thing that you like about a woman. You know, I've heard guys say, wow, she was so quiet and so sweet, but it's like, that's it? It's the very thing that attracted you is the very thing that has you thinking.
I think I'm just gonna speak on that. I think that's one thing that I value a lot in my girlfriend because, right, I like looking at excitement, right? I like the idea of risk, but I know if you're gonna build a foundation, right, that I think is important for men to think about, you've got to be able to think about, okay, this person's qualities are very stable. You know, so if I'm going to build on it, I don't have to worry about it like tipping over because of her personality or whatever. So in my setup, I'm a bad boy, right? But she has her bad too, you know, and I try to get her to know her bad. That way she's in control of her life, so it's not just me driving, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because then it's boring, then it's just like, oh my God. But I push her to be like, okay, bring out your bad side too, because it's important for you to have that, because that's what gives you your strength, you know, like your personality.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
You haven't said much. From you.
She's trying to be a good girl on camera. Is a lie?
No.
Is a bloody lie?
No, I am a bad girl in a very good way.
Oh wow.
Bad in a good way, not in a bad way. So, but what I was gonna say is what Maya was talking about is the aspect of attraction. I think when there is balance, maybe this is my Libra side, when there is balance, it makes a difference. You can't have one individual fully in control and the other one just being a follower. At the end of the day, even a bad guy wants a woman who still has that control aspect as
That's
well.
very true.
You know, you just can't.
For real. And I think that's important to know though.
You know, and I think that actually creates great friction in terms of positivity. Like, okay, you know what? I know I'm in control, but your control aspect also makes a difference. You also contribute, and you also be driven about your own goals. Yeah, you're being a great support to him, but being a great support to your own aspect as well makes a difference. You know, you can't just be saying, "Oh yes, honey, that's great. You should go for it. You should go for this," and then he's looking at you. Okay, so what are you doing?
Right.
You know, yeah, I'm in control, but I shouldn't always be the one telling you what you need to do with your life, telling you what route you need to go.
Yeah.
So being able to also give that direction to that individual, up, back and forth, makes a difference. You know, me personally, I'm someone that I'm in full control of my life. I always say that my success lies in my hand. You know, you can be with someone who's great, but if you yourself as an individual is not driven and it's not really a go-getter wanting to do better for yourself, as much as he might give me that control of, hey, I think you need to do this, I think you need to do that, but if I don't really get it in my head, if I'm not really there, like wanting it as bad, it's not gonna happen. So I think being driven in your own individuality also makes that difference. No man wants a weak woman, and no woman wants a weak man.
It's important for you to say that though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the reason why I want you to and us to kind of go over that though is because a lot of times you hear, in this PC world, everyone says she was such a good girl. Well, were you good for yourself first?
Right.
Or were you just
Good
there
for the
as a carpet?
situation.
Right.
Were you actually just there for me to walk over you? Did you give me any? Because I think the control of your space and the control of your ideas is where the respect comes from,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if I say this is what I want to do,
Yeah.
that's where the respect comes from.
Right.
If every time I'm like, yo, it's my word, it's my word, it's my word,
It kinda
it's a lot
gets
easier
worse.
to disrespect you.
I think.
If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's on a
Because
platform.
exactly,
Yeah.
you know.
I think, I look at it as a team. In a team, you look at a team like the Warriors or the Lakers or whoever. Everybody plays their role. Everybody plays their position. And the thing about it is, I believe human beings are here for expansion. We're here to expand and build and be better. So you want to grow to be the best version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
So on that journey, you're gonna meet people who are going to reveal things about you that are gonna help you grow as an individual. So when I'm dating somebody, I'm gonna probably end up dating somebody who's gonna somehow show me, whether even if she's bad for me, she's gonna teach me something that, like, okay, that's something I need to be aware of. Even if it's something very, very minor that she may not even realize. But you are like, wow, she's bringing this out of me, like something I don't like or that I do like. So I think that as far as becoming a better person and you guys having a beautiful, flourishing relationship, that friction and that growth is needed. When I look at even my parents' relationship, there's something that my dad brought to the table. There's something that my mom brought to the table. If my dad wasn't who he was, it wouldn't work. If my mom wasn't who she was, it would not work.
Yeah.
Because it's something that they both bring that makes the unit make sense. Because we don't need two fiery individuals in the household. We
God.
two Scorpios, two.
Shots.
I'm just kidding.
No, but we don't need that. There has to be some sort of balance. But at the same time, you can have a fiery woman and then have a man that's still a man that's not passive in the household. It's possible, but it's certain types of personalities. It's like a puzzle. It's like a yin and yang kind of thing.
Now let me ask this question, right? Now we're gonna talk about, because we've talked a lot about the bad in like personality and attitude and perspective, right? I think one thing that we should do first actually is describe our good and bad.
I like that.
What is our good and bad? I think my good is the,
Okay, let's start with
foundation. Foundation?
Okay.
No, for real.
Okay, so
I
just
don't.
go on, right?
That's one thing I don't take. Nah, for real.
No. Let's go.
I think my good. Nah, I think my good is I don't take for granted. Every episode I seem to emphasize a lot about Jewish community, the Asian community.
Yeah.
I think my good is understanding that, and from what I've grown up around, it seems like everybody looks for individual success. Nobody seems to be focusing on the fact that the division of labor is a lot easier to reach success. So I think that's one of my good. I'm always making sure that everyone is thinking about the ground. Like what is the foundation? What are we, putting things in perspective, always looking at, okay, what are the new trends? What are some things to be aware of?
Yeah.
I think my bad is, I'm in Cancer, so I'm very to myself. And sometimes, I stand my ground on my opinion like, nah, beast.
When I was 17, I told you.
Nah, for real. Like, I just, like, that's one of my baddest. And another thing is, I don't open up to a lot of people. Like, I keep my circle very small.
I don't know if that's bad.
Sometimes, but sometimes, you do have to welcome. I love people a lot, but once I get into my shell,
You're in there.
I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
this is where I'm at right now. Just do your thing. So I think that's one of my bads, and I think that's, I think that may be what my girlfriend likes about me. I don't know, but I think that's
This will help.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
shout out all Scorpios out there, y'all.
Get that
Because the good part of me is the fact that I'm real, in a world that things are not so real, and people who can't find the ground, we allow that to happen. So I would say I live with conviction as well. So I'll look at a situation and think bad thoughts about it, but my conviction says no. You gotta be a good person, and you know, even in a situation that may not be so good, you have to find it and say, no. My conviction says X, Y, and Z. Now, the not so good part of me, it kind of goes in different areas. Oh, the room gets quiet. No, I think it's my fieriness. Like when I have a point, or if I feel disrespected in any way, I'm like a light switch. Like once you turn it on, it's like it's very hard to turn it off. So I do my best
Are you listening?
not to turn it on. So because I know that, and I'm real serious about my point. Like if it's something that's, you know, and it can be taken as like, oh my God, this girl's gonna kill me, because I'm really serious in my point. And then there's some other things that I do that are bad because I feel as a woman or as a person you have to find balance. So, as good as I am in certain situations, I can be really bad at the same time. Not to be too transparent.
Got it.
But yeah, just standing my ground and being like very present sometimes can be taken as I'm too mouthy. I've heard I'm too opinionated, which is, it can be true in certain rooms, certain aspects. But I would say that's my bad. Yeah.
Yoruba boys are like, I like that bar. Good job, Yoruba boys. I see you. Don't worry.
Oh, wow. So where do I even start from? Well, okay, so you guys are so silly. You guys are not.
Sorry, this is a real bad.
That's okay. Well, let me start with the good. The good about me is my first foundation is family, because I feel that nothing can come close with like in terms of family. And I'm so grateful that I have sisters that, oh my God, they listen to me and I listen to them despite the fact I'm the oldest. And even my mom, she says, it's good that I can learn from you sometimes despite the fact I'm the one that, kind of raised you and taught you what you know. But family is like my greatest foundation, because I feel like that is so important. And a lot of people don't really have that foundation in their life, which kind of creates some issues that arises in their life. And I am so driven. It's a good in me, and I thank God for it every day. I'm so driven. I'm so strong-hearted. I am such a go-getter. It's gonna take you a lot for you to break me, because when I believe in something, I believe in it. You can go up, come down, smack your head, whatever way you want to smack it, it's not gonna change. That's the stubbornness in me. And my bad, I guess I would say maybe it's because the fact that, like Maya was saying, I'm a very real person. Like, I don't know how to fake. Like, if you're around me, you will know whether I like you or not. And if I don't like you, it will show, because I don't know how to pretend. Like, I can't pretend. Like, with my
Have you seen that in a couple episodes before?
Like, I can't pretend with my feelings. You are gonna get the real me. This is the real Emma. I'm very blunt. I say what I want. And I think a lot of people have that problem with me. They feel that I'm being rude. They take it as me being, thinking like I am better. But of course, I'm always going to put myself at a higher pedestal. Who are you to tell me that you're better than me? And you should feel the same way.
You do this live on camera too.
So it's,
Yeah.
so it's like, to me, that comes up as rude, or you think you're better, you know it all. But hey, I'm never going to put myself less. So I'm sorry that you can't accept the truth. That's all I can say, but the truth is going to come out. Don't ask me a question if you're not ready for the answer. I always tell my friends that. So I'm very truthful. You ask for what you get. So this is it. Hey, you ask for the truth, I give you the truth. So I guess that's my bad, and I don't know what other way to put it. It is what it is.
All good. All good. Right.
I guess my good is that I'm an empath, which is also kind of a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing. I don't know. This I don't even know which one to really touch on. I'm such an incredible human being. I don't even know what to do this class. No, but on a serious note, I just think that I'm just one of those people that's gonna bring a good energy, and I'm just I feel like we're here in life. It's serious, but it's also a party. You know what I'm saying? I look at life as something to enjoy, and we're just talking about how precious life is and how all that kind of stuff. That's how I approach life in a positive way, because I feel like it's so precious, and let me try to do what I can and get what I can get done while I'm here. And I just want to spread love, and in appropriate and inappropriate ways if I can. So it always. But anyways, yeah. But that's what I think. And then I feel like my bad. Sometimes I'm very I wear my heart on my sleeve. So at the same time, I kind of feel like I'm very. When I feel a certain way, it's hard for me to hold back if I'm at that point. So I say I'm blunt. I don't really like confrontation too much, but when we do go there, we're there. I'm not passive, but at the same time, if we're gonna have this discussion, I'm very honest, and I think that's my one of my flaws, because I'm so honest about how I feel. And I notice everything. Right? Sometimes I'm like, let me not say it because I don't want to offend somebody, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. Because when I am honest, it's like, I don't want to hear the honesty. But that's my honest, and I think knowing the right time and when to say it and how to say it sometimes may be a thing for me. But when I'm in that moment, but other than that, I mean, there's some other. Obviously, we all have a lot of bad, but that's my.
My brother, speak for yourself. Yeah. The one that we have a lot of bad. I don't know.
No, all human beings.
Yeah, okay.
Human beings.
Here's another thing I want to say. Right. So we talked about it seems like we've talked about the responsible, adult, mature, bad, which I think is a good thing. You know, everybody should have that. You know, that part of them that is your swagger. Now let's talk about one that we brought up earlier, but we didn't touch on. The mistake that a lot of people make about the risky, dangerous bad. Like a good girl likes a guy who will actually get her in trouble or kill her dead, right? And a guy likes a girl that is just the most dangerous thing that you've ever been around in your life, right? Because, no, for real.
Yeah, and
same thing
doesn't have to actually go ahead.
Like you mentioned, the domestic abuse bad.
That's a good one.
Which is, it happens a lot in certain communities because of the community. It just is the trend in specific communities. And sometimes the marketing, it shows that guy as a bad boy. No, that is a fucking idiot. You know, that's a guy that can actually get you killed. That is a guy who is a bad human being. Right? So
he's actually bad.
He's actually, I don't even like calling that bad.
But dangerous.
He's dangerous. Like, he will get you in trouble. You know, so if you guys want to touch on
I think it's, you know, having lived in different communities as far as, you know, the ghetto. Let's just call it the ghetto. Most the guys that I know that live in the hood, the concrete jungle, whatever you want to call it, that are dangerous, it's like the girls have this bragging thing where they can sit amongst the block and say, girl, he did this last night. You know, and, you know, it's kind of like she's attracted to it. And then if he beats her up that night, it's like, oh, well, he was, you know, she makes excuses for it. But something deep down in her is like, I know he really loves me because he did that to me. So I think, not that I agree with this at all, but it happens so much. And then you have children by this person, and then your children end up being the little mini hymns in you, and it creates a whole, you know, cycle. But I think for women, it's like that bragging right, and then he can be on the same block saying, oh yeah, you know, blah blah blah, I did this, that, and the third. It's like, those are my stripes. So I feel like a man because I just shot up this thing, or, you know, she's not going anywhere because she knows what's good for her, kind of thing. So I think it's, when she's out in the world by herself, she still feels protected, which takes me back to that part. I'm going to say about the woman that's dangerous, because I have dangerous girlfriends. I guess you call them dangerous. Maybe they're dangerous reform people, where, you know, like, they go to the club with blades in their teeth. Oh my God, when I first saw that, I was like, oh my God. But no, really, I mean, in my age now, not so much, we can speak on it. The guys that are with them, it's like, oh no, my girl's gonna handle her business. So
are they bad boys too, or are they usually passive?
Actually, it's usually they sharing.
It's the friction.
It honestly depends on how bad she is, because you got some bad girls that can never be with the,
like, Bad Girls Club. I can't even see myself sitting in a room
because
for
they
1 and 2 seconds.
I think that's to me that's a low vibration.
It's an insult to myself.
Yeah, I can't watch
being there like.
I don't think
but it's
that's
rah-rah.
idiotic.
I would just say, like, so for those know, certain girls, so there's levels of being bad. So let's say a girl, like on Bad Girls Club, that when she gets drunk, she turns into like...
There are girls that don't need drinks to be...
Right, but I'm just going to speak on her, right? She, you know, does the most ridiculous things, you know, does things in people's sinks and just, you know, is ready to fight the next person and grabbing chairs, whatever. And then you have a level of girl that doesn't need alcohol, that she's just...
An idiot.
Because where she grew up, like what her life was like. And she has to prove something constantly. Most bad people have to prove something constantly. It's like, no, I'm bad. You know, ain't nobody gonna mess with me, da da da. So I think, depending on how bad the female is, she can't deal with the guy that's real passive. He almost has to be just as equal as her because that's what empowers both of them.
But in a different way, though. Because
yeah, it's true. But that's the things. That's the people we see out in the street.
Maybe it's an ego thing, but I just feel like a man, every man has control of everything in front of him. I don't know. It could be ego, but I can't see myself. I always think of my grandfather's mind.
You all have sense. We talk people that don't have sense.
Like I can't see myself or any guy sitting down in a room, and if they call us misogynist, I'm sorry, and a woman going crazy, like acting up, like breaking shit. Like, what am I doing?
Can I just
what am I doing wrong as a man?
That happens so much.
Can I say something? I feel like they market, you know, they kind of market this thing, and you see it on, like you said, we're talking about, see it on TV. You see, you know, a lot of these women beating on their man, basically.
That's a whole different subject.
Not physically.
But that's strong and weak.
Yeah, physically, you know, like they're in charge.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, well, that's what I need to do. I need to be somebody who's, you know, submissive to my woman or the person. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I personally don't think you should, if you get what I'm trying to say. So that's what they're marketing to you. That's what people are growing up seeing. A lot of people are seeing these sort of like false, you know, Disney type of stories.
Of nature. Like it's like, that's not really how nature ticks.
It doesn't work like that.
I mean, this is what I was saying.
Is it too much ego?
I'm strong, okay?
I think going back, you know, to the example that Maya gave, you know, definitely the neighborhood you grow up in and the people that you grow up around does have an influence in how you think and decisions that you make. That's not to make an excuse, because I don't believe in making excuses, because you can be that change agent in that environment. You can do different than your mother did, or your father did, or your sister, or your brother, your cousin, your nephew, whosoever. But yeah, does it affect the way people think? Absolutely. If you see your mother being bid on, or your auntie or your uncle, you're going to think it's okay.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, you know, I do have pity for those women that are subjected to that lifestyle. That's not to say that you can't get out of it, because at the end of the day, it becomes a problem when you bring children into that broken foundation. Now you are contributing to this poor child's life, you know, who didn't even ask for this lifestyle, who's going to end up growing up being like you because that's all they've seen. You know, that's why we continue to have the population of this so-called violent environment increasing. But then what do we say about the woman who grows up in a great family? Mother was great, father was great, they have no bad aspects in their bringing up, and you just turn out to be bad, and you subject yourself to abuse once again. To me now that becomes an issue of insecurity, because you're not loving yourself enough. You know, you're loving that individual more than you're loving yourself, to the point that you're allowing them to treat you this way. I mean, I've seen this. Ex-friend of mine, because I refuse to have her as part of my life, and I feel I don't even have pity for her. But you know, mother was great, father was great. You know, you never saw your mother being bid on. She didn't tolerate it from anyone. She respected herself. But here you are, allowing a man to physically drag you on the street in front of a bunch of people, and everyone is telling you, like, why are you with this individual? To me, that's like extreme low self-esteem. And when it gets to that point, it's like you're pretty much killing yourself, because that's what's going to end up happening. This person is going to end up killing you, and you're not even realizing that. So in cases like that, honestly, I pray that you come to your senses and realize that maybe you might just need some therapy to get out of that, because I don't know how you're going to get out of it. If people are not ready to get out of it, you can't get them out of it.
Just to add to what you're saying, though, that is where I put some responsibility in the guy's hand, though. Because... you know, from my perspective, right, I think, again, the blessing God gave men is to be the provider, to be the protector, and to have perspective, right, to think logically. I don't respect a man who, no matter what she's been through, no matter how insecure she might be, if you ever have to get to that point as a guy,
Right.
you're a fucking idiot too.
Right, and
No
I
matter what the girl,
and I
you know, I don't think it's smart for a woman to put herself in that position ever.
Yeah, no.
But the respect I have for men is that you should respect yourself enough to never put yourself in that position.
What do you think?
But
What do you think that is? Is
let
it
me-
just access to
Let me
information?
say
Because
this though.
oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm not condoning the guy's action as well, but
She knows better. Is the point.
that's my point. Like, I feel like if I value my life, you know, if I love myself, I'm not gonna tolerate such. You know, not to say that there are things that affect that decision making, but honestly, you can see that your life is being in danger. This person does not respect you. He's treating you like crap. So why would you continue subjecting yourself to that torture? You wouldn't even tolerate your girlfriend slapping you, because you would turn on her and go off on her. But you would tolerate a man slapping you
Energy's
and not
scary
do
thing.
anything.
Yeah, it is. And the
You
transference of it is.
Energy's a scary thing because you might, you know,
It
in that cloud, in that whatever's keeping her there, when they say love is blind, love is sometimes dumbish.
You know,
It is. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
People
and it
need
shouldn't
to
happen,
realize the difference between stupidity
exactly.
and love.
Yeah, like-
there has to, my mother always said there is a difference between loving and being stupid.
Energy.
You know, you should never.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, and it
Energy's
continues to
controlling.
happen.
Energy is a
I'm glad you were talking about because, like, you know, as far as like loving yourself and self-esteem, I think that's what I always wonder, like, is it because for some women, because I think a lot of some women kind of give other women what do you call it, benefit of the doubt that they know that information, that they know that they can do better. Because some people are like, okay, well, I'm dating this guy and this and this and blah 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 blah, and he's doing all these things. And you'll look at them like, look, you do know you can do better than this. You do know you can. This is nonsense. Like, you don't need to be here. And sometimes your fellow woman is there to pull you aside, like, hey, mama, hey, you can do better than that.
Right.
And
They look at you as a bad person.
as a bad person, I
Right.
wonder, where does that come from? Is it low self-esteem? Is it a little bit of ignorance? Because like I said,
perspective. I think it's what I always sorry about that. But
yeah, because women
Bird's eye
don't.
view.
Yeah. Oh, but this is my thing though. This may go off a little bit, but the women that I've met and I've befriended and have talked to, when they're just dating guys, even they could be broker than the Ten Commandments, but they will never go down in their scale. They're
Yeah.
always trying to go up.
You should.
Men sometimes go way below sometimes, just for you know what. But a lot of women, it's true.
Yeah, because it's the control thing.
It's a control. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like-
so, but what I'm saying is, with that same logic, why would a woman subject herself to something like that unless she didn't really understand conceptually what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he
Or
has
is it
control.
or is it bad self? What do you mean?
Or there's a control thing, like what Ellie said. Like, there's energy. Like,
Yeah.
when you meet
'Cause the
someone,
money
you
is
don't
nothing.
know.
Yeah.
When you meet, let's go to the natural. When you meet somebody,
When you like,
you don't
when I bite you,
know.
like right here in your neck.
When when you meet someone naturally, you don't know what they're bringing with them.
Ah.
And you gravitate to them, and something
Yeah.
happens, right?
Exactly.
And the brain and the heart, these two things don't agree all the time, and
Right.
they repel each other a lot. So you meet someone, and it's like, oh, I noticed something about him, but it's something I really like about him, and it could be the bad part of him, because the good part of you is gravitating to this bad part.
Polo black.
Yeah.
You know, so and this is actually what I thought about. I thought about couples. So if we lined up 5 different couples, if we looked at like Jada and Will, and, Beyonce and Jay-Z, like all these different couples, you can see who's weaker, and then you can see how they switch it and how it works. It's like, oh no, she wears the pants, or whatever you want to call it, or you know what I mean, or he's in more control, or vice versa. Angelina Jolie and any man she's been with. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's with Brad Pitt now, but I'm just saying, like, you can tell that there's something in her that's really strong.
There's a personality that I think that goes with. That's the thing. And I have a friend of mine who's a bad boy, and he's with a good girl. Both of her parents went to Ivy League law schools. They're both black, and one thing I noticed about their interaction is there are things that I can tell she really enjoys about him. You know, and it's linked to that bad side. But the problem is that bad side has another bad side that's not bad. That's very bad.
It's side effects.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, man.
exactly. So
But you know what though? I think
Some people don't mind the side effects.
so it's I wonder if those personalities are automatically there's attachments to that personality that are also bad. They're not good, but they're bad. But it's linked to the bad that you like.
The truth is, there should always be a balance, right? The things that I know are my bad, I tame them so they don't get out of hand.
Right.
Because then it's fucking uncontrollable. I can't even control it, you know. So some guys are bad boys and then are just dangerous bad on the side. The same with the girl, you know. So if she's mature enough and understands how to tame it, and she has God in her life, you know, she tames the shit. But if it ever has to get out of control, God bless you.
When I'm saying bad,
difficult.
I'm saying bad like that sort of culture. When I'm saying bad like that, I don't mean actually putting hands on her.
No.
I'm saying like
he'll cheat on you with 400 girls.
not even just it can even
Get
be
busy.
even less than that. Just like
And she
you're
stuff
with
things
you're
around.
with her, and there's certain things that you do that like because I will sit and listen to the conversation. This is just my perspective. Let's say I'm driving and they're in the backseat talking, and I'm listening to the conversation. It's like this is an unnecessary argument that you guys are having right now. To me personally, this is unnecessary. This is a stupid argument right now. So, and I'm listening to her like it's like, babe, stop that. Like it's not that serious. Calm down. It's like, no, we're gonna do like this. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh,
Nah, but I guess.
But you get what I'm trying to say.
I get, this can go on forever. There's also a bad side of like the guy will sleep with like everybody in the family and all that. There's different bad sides, but I think one thing that we should do and then conclude is give our perspective of what we like, good and bad in someone, and then
Can't wait.
you can start right there. You can start right there.
Yeah.
Try to make it short, straight to the point.
Okay.
No, we gonna start right there.
Come on, I'm in control of this.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right, Elder,
okay,
you lead the way.
Bad and good. Okay, what I like that is bad first. I'll start with bad.
Check into someone's festival.
I like I don't know, man. I like somebody I do like somebody who is opinionated. I do like somebody who has a little bit of grit to them. I don't like to too controlling because that one is not going to work. I can't do it. It's like I'll feel some type of way. But yeah, as far as that side, I like that. Bad. There's different types of bad too. So, but I also like freaky bad, but not too, but like freaky, but it's not
I'm
like.
not worried.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that freakiness. Like this one is a little bit sad.
Yeah. I just like a little taste. Just give me a little something to let me know there's something there. I don't know, but
You sound like such a pervert, bro.
and then I mean the good that I like. I mean I just like somebody who's I honestly, there's a lot of things I mean somebody who's educated because I'm educated. Number one, somebody who is level-headed, understanding, who I can have a conversation with. Honestly, somebody who reads. I know it sounds like a very arbitrary thing, but I do kind of value things like that. Just do somebody who is going to make me better, who's going to point out things to me like, okay, these things I'm noticing. This, it's going to work with me. That's understanding. My big thing is understanding because it trumps everything, good and bad.
What do you like when you like the good and bad in people?
Yeah,
People?
and then I like
the person that you.
and a little, and I like if you like
Stop
to
talking
twerk.
already.
If you like,
I knew you were gonna- Go ahead. Do you like to twerk?
No, I was gonna say if they like to twerk privately, like for me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's good and bad. Yeah, so.
You're my boys.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're gonna take you dudes.
Okay. What do I admire? The goods that I admire about the person that that has my heart. I would say is the drive that they have, the ambition that they have. They have a clear, defined goal of what they want out of their life. To me, that's very attractive because I'm a very driven individual. I hate when people make excuses as to why they're in the situation that they are in. So the thing that you would hate about me if you were ever with me, which is never going to happen, is that you have an excuse as to why everything that you're trying to do is not progressing. I always say failure is part of success. There's no one that has succeeded without failure. So I never want to hear the excuses. So I like the fact that that person does not make excuses despite the obstacles that they've been faced with. I admire the drive, the ambition, the go-getter spirit, the belief that no one stops me, you know. I truly, enjoy that aspect of it. And, a great sense of humor gets me. I love to laugh. So just being able to sit with that individual, have a simple conversation and laugh over it. Make fun about me and I can make fun about you, and we don't get mad and take it personal. There is no sensitivity because, if you are sensitive, you really can't deal with me. And I truly admire that as well. Education is truly big on me. Intelligence speaks to me. If I can't sit down and have an intelligent conversation with you, we're not progressing past point A. So family orientation, being very close to your family speaks out to me, tells me your character as an individual, tells me how close you are to your blood. Whenever there is hatred between you and family members, to me that says a lot. That speaks volumes. So that means you're someone that will probably be so difficult to get along and bring family together. That means also you're not a giving person. If your family is in a situation where they're of need, you always think of self, like I don't care about them right now, I'm just focusing on me. So to me, someone that's really family oriented says a lot, because that's something. I am so close to my sisters in my family that nothing.
And the bad. Which one is the bad?
Yeah,
the bad. Go there.
The bad that I the bad that I like is, the bossness in the individual. I am the boss. But despite the fact he is the boss, he still respect my bossness as well, because I got boss as well. Yeah, you have a vision. I have a vision too. So we both have to realize, as much as you're the boss, I am the boss too. So we are going to be a boss together. Because there is, and I like that. I like that aspect, the fact that he can stand and say, you know what, I think we need to do this. And I can be like, okay, we need to do this, but we need to do it this way. So it can't just be one control aspect. I think in a relationship, whenever there is balance, it makes a difference. It's great to be a great listener, but it's also great to have an opinion. You can't just always be the one saying yes, 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 yes. I think it's so attractive to a guy when a woman can give advice that is actually very valuable. I always say when a man says something to you like, "What do you think of this?"
Whatever you want,
and you say whatever you want. It's to him. It's like, yeah. So he goes back to another female individual that might be closer to him and asks that same question. So I think you as a woman having a greater understanding of who you are individually, the good and the bad in you, and bringing that to the table creates a fire. And I like fire. And I like fire in the bedroom.
I would say for me, I'm going to start with the bad. I like the...
I didn't say anything.
I said nothing. I'm over here sipping water.
I would say for me, the bad, I like somebody that can control me. And I say that in a lot of different aspects. As I said, I'm very opinionated and I'm strong in who I am. But somebody that can come in and speak and speak of substance, and say sort of like what Emma said, you're the boss and you're in control. And I like that. I like the fact that you can come in any situation and be the boss. Bedroom is probably top. I need someone that can control and know what to do, how to do it, when to do it.
So what,
and be risky. And be risque enough, because I'm risque. My life is a risque life. So I mean, not all of it, but a good portion of my life is a bit risque. No one needs to know that, but I would want him to know that, that it's okay to be risky and not be so good that you don't know how to be risky. On the good side, definitely somebody that I can talk to. Pillow talk to me is like the best ever, where you can sit and have a conversation about something of substance again. Being able to be in different rooms, because I'm around a lot of different people, intellectuals, non-intellectuals, other cultures, and I want someone that can, be good, be in a room and work the room in a good fashion, in a networking kind of situation. Also, the good part I would say is like being a good person. I think the older I get, I notice that people who are good people attract good people, and good things happen, and it's all good, as they say. So I need someone that, for example, I don't like people who litter. Like that to me bothers me, And the older I get, it's more like, wow, like you don't care about your environment. Like granted, exactly, somebody that can give to the earth, give to this place we inhabit, in a good way. Also, to piggyback off of you, someone that's well read, that's very, very, very important, because the more you read, the more you learn, the more you earn, as my uncle says. But just a good person, just in a bad situation, you take it and say, you know what, this person doesn't mean me any harm. I don't mean any harm to this individual. Let's try to find some sunshine or some silver lining in it. So that to me can balance. You can go out in the street and see something bad happen and say, no, let's make good of the situation. So that's what I would say.
I think everything they've said is, makes sense. Everything they said makes sense. I mean, we kind of touched on everything. I think the most important thing for me, though, is because I know that, I stand by my opinion a lot. I think the bad that I want in a girl is you have to speak up your own opinion. Like you don't give me all the control and think that is love. I don't think I don't consider that love. I consider that just waiting for me to just say, okay, do this and you do it. I don't think that's safe for you. So really, because I can't get in the car, you're the passenger, and I say we're going to the desert, but you want to go to the beach, and you're like, okay, let's go. I don't think that's cool for you, because you need to have your own, So that's the bad I want in a girl. Also, you ain't gotta say much, but I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's super sexy. And one thing that I like a lot is like when, you pat your hair like all the way back.
Oh, he is speaking to you, honey.
Or pigtails. Come on. No, but I think that's like the, whatever. The good though is, we're mature. We're growing up, getting older. The things that we don't have to discuss that we should both know are extremely important for not just us, but the people around us.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandfather and grandmother. My grandmother was the one that made sure that the household was good. Yeah. That's the kind of life I want to live. I want, if family needs to come home and sleep on the floor, it's right there.
That's right.
But we need to make sure that we have that place that people can come to.
Right.
So that's what I think is the good that I want. I think, that when you're a good person, when someone around you is not that thing.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. You can sense it.
You can sense it.
And that's what the mistake is people make sometimes.
Yeah.
They know it and then they ignore it.
They miss the triggers. Triggers.
Yeah.
But all in all, though, the good girls like bad guys. The bad that I think good girls like is that control thing. Because if you can hear the ladies, they want guys who are on their shit. Like, and I think it's important to market.
How you like it?
Man.
No, it's important that they want to buzz. And they know that because that's what we should be.
Yes.
Bosses. Listen, make sure that it works in the favor of the lady. Absolutely. But be proud of the gift you were given as a man and take responsibility of being a fucking man.
Don't let the world take it from you.
Yeah, be a man. And then, the good, the good guys who like bad girls, I think being a good guy, the good in a good guy is the spirituality, the knowing that there's more to life than just you, respecting God or the belief of energy. I believe a lot in energy, but the bad that a guy should probably like is that that hint of risk in that girl. That fact that she knows her opinion is the sexy thing.
I like it.
No, I wanted to add something that I actually forgot to mention. I think confidence speaks a lot as well.
I second that.
To me, confidence is one of those attractive things because I feel like when someone does not have that confidence in themselves, it really affects how the relationship plays out. So that's when that whole insecurity and jealousy and all of that craziness happens. But
you guys want to conclude on that?
Yeah, I like that.
Want to conclude on that?
Sure.
Cheers, guys.
Hey.
Blast.
Man, no clan hall.